Leading off our discussion tonight is Democratic Senator Amy Klobuchar of Minnesota. She serves on the Senate Judiciary Committee and the Commerce Committee. Senator Klobuchar, I want to first of all go to what's happening in air travel, because a state like Minnesota is the kind of place you have a major hub there that could be affected. And then there's all the feeder airports, the smaller feeder airports that go out across the Dakotas, feeding into Minneapolis, that could also be really backed up. Even though they're not in this top 40 list of airports, they could be shut down because they can't get landing slots in Minneapolis.
Exactly, Lawrence. And I just keep thinking, while he is so oblivious and showing his marble bathrooms, American people aren't oblivious. And they spoke in a big voice from Mississippi to Georgia, New Jersey, Virginia, and across the country, California, on Tuesday. And they know exactly what's going on. Donald Trump runs the presidency, he runs the House, he runs the Senate. And right now, what he should be doing is coming to the negotiating table. We should have passed our bill to pay the federal employees, including the air traffic controllers, but he won't allow it to be come up for a vote. And you know what I was thinking? I was thinking about the fact that the House of Representatives, the Republicans in the House, are on their 7th week of vacation. So while they're sitting home, Americans are going to be at the airports, getting their trips ruined, trying to catch planes, when all we're asking for is come to the table. You wrote the art of the deal. Show us your stuff. Come to the table like every other president has done when there's a budget impasse or there is any kind of a shutdown or a threat of a shutdown. And he stays in that White House in his marble bathroom instead of just coming down to Capitol Hill.
So I just want to clarify this point for the audience. It is possible for the Congress to immediately pass funding for air traffic control for everything that we need for air travel in America. That could be done separate from all the other elements of the shutdown. Exactly.
It could be done tomorrow, but guess who's not here to pass that bill? The Republican House. So you have to pass it in both houses, but they're not here because they don't want to vote on that Epstein files. So what we're asking is, we know that they're not going to be able to come to an agreement while these health care premiums are skyrocketing across the country, doubling. 75% of the people on those plans, small businesses, farmers, ranchers, are in states that Donald Trump won. We are asking them to come to the table. And by the way, only 1 year of those tax credits is about the same amount of money as he gave to Argentina. So he's more interested in giving money, giving a check to the people of Argentina instead of helping Americans afford their health care. So our point is, come, get this negotiation done. We could reopen the government tomorrow.
You know, you just linked something that I hadn't actually seen until you said it. The House of Representatives is closed down for a bunch of reasons, including the fear of going into session, because that would involve swearing in the newest elected member of the House, which would be the 218th vote on a petition that would then get a vote in the House of Representatives on releasing the Epstein files. So, to continue to hide the Epstein files, the Republican House of Representatives is refusing to even entertain an immediate legislative solution to the air traffic crisis.
Not to mention ending the shutdown altogether by coming to the table when we know there's cracks now. There have been multiple stories, including one today, where a number of Republicans have overtly said publicly, and some of them behind closed doors, we want to do something about these escalating premiums. We know what the answer is. Let us continue the help for Americans who are on these plans. But a bunch of them are afraid of him. So tomorrow, this weekend, a big time for them to finally come back and come to the table and negotiate with us.
So if your flight gets canceled, think about Mike Johnson, Republican Speaker of the House, and his protecting of the Epstein files, and that's gonna make it just a little bit harder when your flight gets canceled.
It's gonna really piss people off because they're gonna know those representatives are sitting at home. Yeah. They're sitting at home with their families when Americans can't get home.
sitting at home, protecting the Epstein files. Your flight gets canceled. Senator Amy Klobuchar, thank you very much for starting
Thanks,
off our
Lawrence. I hope
coverage
that
tonight.
they will come to the table and we can work this out for the American people. That was the message Tuesday, and let's bring these costs down on health care.
Thank you, Senator.
Thank you.
Coming up.